Good morning all, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to Just Another Magic Monday. Your cosmic forecast for the week ahead of March 14th to March 20th. What can be expected from the cosmos? And we're in for a wild ride this particular week. We've got a lot happening cosmically, and when the planets are busy up there, we feel busy down here. So I'm guiding you through it day by day as well as thematically. You know, Pisces season is going out with a bang. Pisces season is going out with a bang. We have a Virgo full moon on Friday. We have Mercury sextile Uranus and conjoining Jupiter. Mercury is still confused in the terrain of Pisces, but it's divinely inspired. It's getting all of this inspiration. It doesn't know from where, but it's feeling a little bit more inspired, at least tethered to something bigger than itself. But we also have Venus, who, a moment for Venus, because poor Venus is besieged, which is essentially Venus is sandwiched in between the two malefics. So Venus is in between Mars and it's in between Saturn, and Venus doesn't like that very much. Venus just wants to have fun, she wants to play, she wants to create beauty, and Mars is making her too busy and active and angry, and Saturn is cramping her vibe and telling her that there's not enough leisure, there's not enough money, or there's not enough love. So Venus isn't happy, and adding to that, now she's getting a square from Uranus. So there is some sort of romantic upset, or at least a call for freedom. There can be financial updates or something of the like. So I'll guide you through it day by day. Before I do, I just want to announce that my new passion project is now out into the world. It's called Self-Care Astrology, and it has multiple offerings, but it's united by the same mission statement, which is around using astrology to empower ourselves and to truly anchor into our highest potential rather than to limit ourselves. That's a core part of Magic Monday as well. I really think that while there can be challenging transits, challenging facets of a birth chart, we can use that information and arise to the highest potential of it. So Self-Care Astrology will be a YouTube channel with astrology anchored yoga and meditations. You can subscribe within the description or pinned comment. I would really appreciate it. I think we're at 9. If we get to 100 by the Aries new moon, I will drop an Aries new moon yoga flow. So super excited for that. The core offering of the container is the course. So if you've been feeling a call to dive in deeper to your study of astrology, I highly recommend to check it out. There are many tiers available as well as payment plans. So you can check that out within the link to see if it aligns with where you are currently. And there's also a guidebook, which is available for pre-order, but comes bundled into the course if you want to dive deeper and if that style of astrology resonates with you. So I'm so excited that it is out there. If it resonates, please feel free to check it out. Feel free to reach out with any questions that you may have as I birth this thing out to the world. And without further ado, let's just dive into the vibe check of the week. So the vibe check this week, it very much feels like high school graduation, and particularly the song, because guys, I feel into this very, I don't know how to call it, I guess intuitively. Just sometimes when I'm looking at the astrology, just like a vision pops in my head, or today a song. And it's this corny song that used to be used in like middle school, high school graduations. Let me know if it still is, or if you know this song. And the song that started playing was, "As we go on, we remember." But yeah, it's a song about graduation and moving on. And I just remember hearing it when I was little and thinking that just felt like the saddest thing ever. I'm like, how am I not gonna have these particular friends? Like, how does someone get over, letting go of something this big and this important? And then you get to the other side of it, and it's not that it wasn't a big deal, but it's like there's so much more out there. So this particular week, there is this energy around grieving, around letting go, around releasing the past, which yes, can be sad. But then this weekend, particularly Sunday, there feels to be this light at the end of the tunnel, or to realize that ending was paving the way for a beautiful new beginning. And yes, we can let go of those particular friendships or the ending of that particular saga and take that moment to be sad. Certainly it's Pisces season. We're all a little melodramatic in Pisces season, but know that this is opening up so much more for you, and you can grieve the past or you can build the future. And this week has a little bit of both. So I'm going to take you through day by day, and I apologize again for singing. I swear I'm a better astrologer than I am singing. Also, fun fact, I was with my friends and we were talking about vitamin C and that song, and I looked her up and she is thriving. She is thriving. I was like, I wonder what she did after her one-hit wonder. I mean, I didn't know she was still doing music. She's like the music executive for Netflix or something. I'm like, okay, vitamin C. Okay, I see you. I vitamin C you. But anyways, just a fun fact for you. So let's take it into the astrology of Monday, March 14th. So we have a Leo moon day. And you know, it's a bit of a cranky moon. The moon's not really getting what she wants. She's feeling everything a little bit more intensely. And with the opposition to Venus and Mars, she might be in a bad mood. Like the Leo moon wants to have fun and to create and to express itself. But with the opposition of Venus and Mars, you know, which are in Aquarius, which is all detached and cool-headed, there's just not enough time to be heart-centered and passionate. And again, we're pre-full moon, so you're gonna feel this intensity build as we near closer. Like things are gonna feel busier, it's gonna feel more hectic as we continue through the week. And that story kind of starts on Monday. We also sort of have a wrench in the plans with that Leo moon squaring Uranus and Taurus. Something unexpected could be around technology, could be around weather, could be around ideas. And again, we do have a Uranus aspect this weekend as well. So with, you know, the energy of graduation, it's like people need to honor their own journey and they need to honor their own path. And you can be sad about it. You can be sad that your partner needs to, you know, go backpack across Europe, or you could be sad that you're all graduating and you're going to different colleges, but we all need to follow our own journey. We can be sad without, you know, carving our entire existence around someone else's journey. And with all the Uranus, remember, Uranus, yes, it's change, it's things that are unexpected, but it's rebellion for the sake of being more true to yourself. So with the Leo moon square Uranus, like there might be someone that you need to say no to and you might need to let them down. But oh my gosh, I heard this quote the other day and I need to share it with you. But saying no to someone else doesn't mean you're being mean to them. It means you're being nice to you. And I think that is so important. That quote hit me at the most impactful time, because I think a lot of us have that tendency to want to say like yes or to do whatever. And with the Leo moon square Uranus and Taurus, like it really on Monday, you have to choose yourself. You have to assert those boundaries. You have to be willing to change in the ways that feel good. Even if people want you to stay in a particular mold, or they're like, what do you mean? No, you always do this for me. You always do this favor. And it's like, well, I need to honor myself more than I need to always be that mold for you. So just be mindful with that sort of energy, particularly on Monday and then on Saturday when the Venus square to Uranus exacts. Tuesday, the 15th, feels so cranky. It feels so cranky. We've got a Leo moon. You know, this Leo moon is unhappy. Just let Leo moon have some fun and let it play. And Leo moon is not having any space to play. On Monday, it gets an opposition to Saturn. So again, dim your light. You're being too much. Why are you saying no? And then it's void until it enters Virgo that evening. So again, frustrations, things are going to feel harder, a lot more time than you would expect for tasks. Gosh, aren't things frustrating sometimes when it's like, I do not have the space within my schedule to do this task for you that's going to take an hour and a half, or like I need to do this thing and the software is making it so much more challenging. Like things are just going to feel harder. You're not really going to be in the mood to do it. It's not going to be a very productive day, and it just feels like a lot of people that you're going to encounter are going to be grumpy. Definitely try to get off work early and do something nice for yourself. And trust me, when the moon enters Virgo, the motivation will return. Like Tuesday just feels like cranky, grumpy, everything's harder. I mean, just try to stay on task if you can, but then take off work early and do something that celebrates your light and your play, because this Leo moon has not had enough time to be in its light and in its radiance and its play. And just in case that wasn't clear, the moon's void from the morning time, like 4 in the morning PST, to 10 p.m. that evening when it enters Virgo. So just a big void moon day. So stick to tasks that are more mundane, routine. Also keep in mind with Tuesday, there can be a little bit of melodrama. I mean, a Pisces sun, Leo moon, it's dramatic, okay? Both of these signs, you know, elevate emotions to a whole production. So allow yourself to have that space. If you need to cry in the bathroom really quick because the task is harder than you thought, or someone emailed you something and you're being extra sensitive around it, again, this is a sensitive combination, so allow yourself that space. On Wednesday, the 16th, Mercury's day, that Virgo moon is fired up. It's like, okay, you know, we didn't really get that much done yesterday. We had that meltdown in the bathroom, and then that person said something mean to us on email, and we sort of spiraled around it. But I'm feeling motivated to get it done today. But keep in mind, the Virgo moon is ruled by Mercury, which is debilitated in Pisces. And it's not that this is a bad placement. I went on a whole spiel about this last week, but it's almost like the information's there, but it's not accessible. Like with Mercury in Pisces, it's like we could notice our like heads in the clouds, or it's really hard to force ourselves to be creative or to stay on task. It's like you're trying to work on this proposal, and then you're getting this brilliant idea for like the website design where you're like, no, brain, go in this direction. Mercury in Pisces is like, I think we should put stars on the website. And you're like, we're not doing stars, we're doing the proposal. So with Wednesday, with that Virgo moon battling with that Mercury Pisces, you can find that you are finding it harder to stay on task, but the Virgo moon is like kind of stressing about staying on task. You can find you're getting all of these random ideas and your brain isn't working in the directions that you want. The best advice that I can give is to be open to bursts of inspiration. Like the Virgo moon does trine Uranus and Taurus. So again, if we loosen our grip around it needs to be like this, you need to work on this, we can really open up all of this beautiful opportunity where all of a sudden at the end of the day, you're like, I wasn't even trying to work on the website, but look at the website, it looks amazing. Like it is sort of a day to follow your energy and to follow the nuggets and the brainstorms. It might feel frustrating because Virgo moon's like, stay on task. Why are we not staying on task? But again, brilliance can come in unexpected ways. And particularly with Mercury sextiling Uranus the next day, there can be a lot of creative energy, but it's not going to go in the directions that you wanted to, which is going to be frustrating for the Virgo moon. On Thursday, it's the day before the full moon, and the full moon exacts in the middle of the night on Friday, so technically like early Friday morning. So you're really gonna feel it build on Thursday. And with a Virgo full moon, it could bubble up a lot of, you know, frustrations or to-dos, or things can feel really busy and you could feel really nervous trying to think of all the little details. And again, all the little details, like I said last week, you really can't be too sure. Make sure to, you know, double check on the details, because with Mercury and Pisces, things can get a little slippery, can get a little confusing, especially with the opposition to Jupiter and Neptune. So just giving yourself that space to double check. But I will say with Mercury sextile Uranus, there can be some genius ideas, but in that genius ideas, it takes relaxing our expectation around it needs to be like this and daring ourselves to play with the opportunity of what it could be. Like rather, it needs to be like this. What could it be? That's the only way you're going to work with Mercury Pisces. So allowing yourself that space, as well as just checking in, what is it that I genuinely want to do right now? And yeah, maybe a lot of times it's going to be, I just want to lie in bed, I just want to sleep or whatever. But with Mercury and Pisces, you can find, I'm actually sort of in the mood to want to brainstorm that copy from that project we were talking about 3 weeks ago. Or I'm actually in the mood to write my brother a thank you card. Whatever it is with Mercury Pisces, it can feel divinely inspired, not in the directions you want it to, but in interesting new ones. So the Virgo full moon exacts Friday the 18th around midnight, and this full moon trines Pluto and it opposes Neptune. The Virgo being the energy of service, and with the opposition to Neptune, there can be this energy around feeling this illumination around what it is that you are passionate about, or what it is that you're passionate about giving to or serving on. Like with the opposition to Neptune, it really speaks to altruistic causes, or even like, let's say you work as a mailman, but you really infuse your heart and soul into it. There can be this feeling of like intrinsic gratitude at the opportunity to be able to serve other humans with a kindness or a smile. There can be overwhelm. I feel like that's been building a lot through Pisces season, and Virgo moon, it's neurotic, it's nervous. And with the opposition to Neptune, there's nothing to sort of temper its nervousness. So there can be this tendency around, how am I able to handle all of these things? I'm just one person. So you can find there's an interesting illumination around what it is that you feel your heart into, you feel more passionate about, you feel more led to, and what you're not. Because like I said, there's sort of this goodbye energy with this full moon. It's the last full moon of the zodiacal year as the new year begins when the sun ingresses into Aries. In astrology, the new year is timed with the beginning of Aries season, not a calendar year. So there is this energy of ending this week, and particularly with this Virgo full moon. And it could be a sad ending, it could be nostalgic, it could just be letting go of a particular, side gig, a particular stream of work, a particular era within your life, and really feeling it, letting yourself cry. Again, with the opposition of Neptune, we're going to be feeling more emotional, which is also why I feel like a couple people this week, like there can be something that happens. And I keep talking about work because Virgo is a very service-oriented sign, where it's like something occurs at work that just really affects you, or it really bothers you. Just with the Virgo, really wants to feel service-led and service-anchored. And with the opposition Neptune, we're struggling with boundaries, which is leading to overwhelm. And we're also having a really hard time, letting things go. Neptune merges boundaries. So it's like we're having a hard time figuring out where we stop and like our work and our service or our passion project begins. So with the Virgo full moon, I really want you to anchor into what comes up around it. Some people could have illuminations around, a certain exercise that they've been diving into, or a certain method of wanting to dial in their health or their self-improvement. But I would definitely say with this full moon, please try to abstain from any sort of mind-altering substance. I would say that in general, while Mercury is in Pisces, just with this full moon opposing Neptune, again, it just feels like Neptune is sort of calling away the Virgo full moon anxieties. Like you won't even think about that after, a glass of wine, just like carry away, because it just feels like a very bound up emotional full moon. Like that song, it's like all of those emotions, it's like letting go, this like so much is happening, I'm moving into this new era, whatever that era might look like for you. And again, trust in your evolution. With this full moon trining Pluto in Capricorn, there really is this promise of your transformation is just around the corner. It takes you releasing what does not serve in order to really spiritually connect to what does. So trust in the next evolution of your journey, and trust in the next evolution of yourself. The moon enters Libra at 4:26, and we have Venus sextile Chiron and Sun sextile Pluto on Friday. So Friday does feel like, again, there's sort of that full moon hangover feeling. You might feel more exhausted, you might feel more overwhelmed, but with the moon ingressing into Libra, it really is this energy around needing balance, because that Virgo full moon was not balanced. We're feeling overwhelmed, whether we've been, working ourselves to the bone, or struggling with boundaries within our loved ones, or, just processing an emotional ending. The moon entering Libra is like, okay, this is not, okay, this has taken up so much of our energy, so much of our time. We need to find balance within our world. So on Friday, doing some activities that allow you to find that, giving to yourself in some way, maybe doing like a face mask, you're cleaning your home, something to be able to balance the areas of your life for anything that's felt out of whack, because that's what the Virgo full moon feels like. And to do something loving for yourself with the Venus sextile Chiron. Sun sextile Pluto does kind of tread into the deeper levels of our psyche, sort of what's undercover that the Virgo full moon could have illuminated. Like, okay, the night prior, I had a meltdown because I just feel like I'm not able to do all of the tasks and responsibilities that have been thrust upon me at work. And with Sun sextile Pluto, it's like, okay, how can I believe in myself and the ability to change my life at any moment? Like with Sun sextile Pluto, it's sort of this opportunity to dive into things that might not always be pleasant to think about. Like it can be scary to contemplate change. It's like, how can I leave this job? I've been there for 9 years. How can I leave? But with Sun sextile Pluto, it's like a brand new journey is beginning. It's always sad when you're letting go of something. Like in high school, you just feel like these people are going to be your friends forever, and this is like the peak of life, and you just don't know what's around the corner. Now, I'm not saying everyone should go to quit their job, but if there's something that's not serving you, that's overwhelming you, that feels so out of balance within your world, allow on Friday yourself to contemplate what could be different, how you can evolve and become your most aligned self. Like that's what really Pluto wants, is our own transformation. And then that evening, with the Libra moon trining Mars in Aquarius, it would be a really great date night, a very spicy date night. The Libra moon also trines Venus in Libra, but it doesn't do that until technically Saturday. It's about 2 a.m. Saturday, but you'll feel it build on Friday. So Friday night would definitely be the time. It's like, okay, I've been working all week, I've been overwhelmed, I've had multiple mental breakdowns. It's time to have some fun. It's time to balance who it is that I am with what it is that I do. And it's amazing when you have a passion project and there's like a spiritual connection to it, But again, those boundaries with all the Neptune can be harder and harder to enact. So do something that just reminds you you're a human being. Do something that brings some pleasure into your reality Friday night. Saturday, there's a Venus square Uranus, okay? So Venus, like I've said, is an unhappy gal. She's an unhappy planet. And with this square to Uranus, you know, she's craving individuality. She's been craving that regardless in Aquarius. But with the square to Uranus, it really speaks to breaking out of anything that feels constricting. I sort of spoke to this earlier on Monday around this energy around breaking out of structures or commitments or whatever does not feel aligned. And knowing that we can't live our entire lives to please other people. And a lot of people are going to feel this romantically, honestly, because Venus is the planet of love. So if you are in a connection, and it might not necessarily be a breakup, but it could just be like, this connection is not serving me anymore. Like, this connection is not allowing me to be the person I am. I need to do something different. I need 2 nights away from you a week so I can work on this passion project. I need some space. I need something different in order to be more myself. With the Venus square Uranus, I would just say if you're dating someone, give them some space this weekend, because with Venus square Uranus, we can feel connections as sort of like smothering, like Uranus really wants some space. So also just try not to take it personally if someone that you're connected with, you know, just isn't being the most cuddly or something of that nature. You know, Venus in Aquarius is pretty detached regardless. And with the square to Uranus, it's like, I need my own space. I need my own, you know, activity, and I need my own world. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually very healthy when 2 people have separate lives, but try not to like register that and like panic and move closer. Like with Venus square Uranus, a lot of people will be craving individuality. There can be financial shifts, but then Libra moon, the peacemaker that she is, kind of smooths over any feathers with the trine to Saturn around 4 p.m. So again, we can love one another. We could be best friends. We can be coworkers. We can be anything and still allow people the freedom and the grace to be able to change. That's why this week reminded me of that song and of a graduation, because it's like, we can love people, but we can't love them to a level where we feel like they have to say the same for us. Loving someone means granting them the space and the freedom to evolve and to change and find new adventures, whether that is at a new college, at a new job, or whatever life has in store. And certainly feel the sadness, you know, we are wrapping up Pisces season, right? But also know that what's beyond the corner is going to be even more aligned, and you have to grant people the space to evolve and change in order to find their happiness. And with the Sun at the aneretic degree, so the last degree of Pisces, again, things might feel intense, things might be coming to the surface. And then Sunday the 20th, the Sun ingresses into Aries, which is International Astrology Day. Happy International Astrology Day. I'm so grateful I found a community who is as inspired and motivated and interested in this topic as I am. It truly gives me so much joy to be able to share my passion with people who get it and understand it and live by it as well. So that just means so much to me. And like I said, this is the beginning of the new year. So if a lot was coming up, you're releasing, you're purging, you were letting go. With the Sun ingressing into Aries, it speaks to newness, it speaks to initiation. So you're gonna feel this tonal shift. The moon does enter Scorpio, so, you know, we could be still feeling a bit emotional, but you're going to be feeling this burst of sort of like action or motivation to a certain degree. This is also the same day as Mercury conjoining Jupiter, so being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, being able to research new ideas, being able to say, okay, I'm sad that I'm graduating high school, but now I'm going to go to this college and I'm going to have this major. Like being able to look towards the future with optimism. That's what Jupiter really wants for us. And to daring yourself to have courage. Like we haven't had a lot of fire in the cosmos for a while. So it's going to be nice to have a burst of fire, as fire element in astrology corresponds to action, motivation. So with some more fire in the cosmos, we're getting out of the feels of Pisces season and into the action. Like we can either grieve the old, which is what Pisces season is all about, as it's the final sign or it's the final season of the zodiacal year, or we can start our new adventure. Every ending is a new beginning, and it can feel so melodramatic and intense, like in that moment, like when you're on the stage and you're like, these are my best friends and I'm never gonna forget about high school, but then you get to the next era and it's even more beautiful and it's even more aligned, and you look back at those times and you're like, how did I think that that's all what life was? You're gonna think that about this era too, that change can be scary, but it is worth it. Friends, the Magic Monday mantra of the week is I look to the future optimistically. This is very much inspired by Mercury conjunct Jupiter. And again, Mercury is operating kind of funky, so if you're having like word on the tip of my tongue syndrome, or you're having a hard time staying very linear with your processes, that's just Mercury in Pisces. But your dreams can be prophetic. You can be really, really intuitive when it comes to it. And with it meeting up with Jupiter, dare yourself to dream the best. Dare yourself to try something new with the beginning of Aries season starting off. Like Aries is all about taking action, having courage, believing in ourselves, getting out of the feels and the nostalgia of Pisces season and daring to take a chance on ourselves, daring to leave the nest or what's felt comfortable to go off onto your next adventure. So I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you through this sort of emotional, intense, overwhelmed Virgo full moon. Let me know how it comes up for you. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. I'm always happy to DM about Astro and just hear how these transits are playing out within your world. Friends, until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.